Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Sisters and brothers, is my second phase in my series, Breaking the Dumb Barrier. What do we mean by breaking the dumb barrier? It's like breaking the sound barrier. Say when they break the sound barrier and their jets, missiles, get a big sonic boom because you're moving faster than the speed of sound. But that happens because the atmosphere is pressure and sound is pressure. Most people don't notice that. See, because sound is just pressure waves. It's just pressure waves within the atmosphere, because the atmosphere is pressure. See? So when you take and cause the atmosphere to move, that produces waves, which are sound waves. Some we can hear, some we can't. And we hear it all, but some we're conscious of hearing, some we're not conscious of hearing. Anyway, so we need to break the dumb barrier. So what's happening is you have two sides of the brain, the analytical side and the spatial side. For trillions of years, we kept the analytical side at bay. That's the technical side. You need both sides. And you have the creative side, analytical and the spatial, right? The technical and the creative. You need both. Because if you come with an idea, you need to be able to bring it into existence. If you say be, you need to be able to, right? It is. The be by itself, you have to have something. Someone has to say the be, and someone has to do the it is. So that's what it means. Be and it is. Spatial, analytical, creative, technical. But now we have personified the two. So Dr. Shabazz have personified the spatial, that's us, the seed of Abraham. And Dr. Yaqub has personified the analytical. That's our captives here. So we're both battling out here because you have the most technical here, and you have the most spatial. And they're battling out because the technical is rebellious by nature because the creation is spatial and the technical doesn't understand it. So it's like a child stumbling around, right? Or an elephant stumbling around in a china shop, right? Or you put a child, right, in very complicated, it won't know what to do. So it's going to stumble around, it's going to make mistakes. And that's what they're doing. They're fumbling around with our creation. So that makes them evil. Evil in the sense that evil is when you're out of sync with something. And they're out of sync with the creation. That's why they're corrupting and destroying it. But they was given rule, 6,000 years of rule. Adam was given 6,000 years, make mitzvah, shed blood. That's the analytical mind. And their guidance came from the sealed Bible. See, if you're going to give them rule, it says, it was said they would be given guidance, right? On what? On how to rule. How to rule how? By making mitzvah, shed blood. That's what sealed Bible is. Until the unsealed Bible, which was, right, embedded within the sealed Bible, came and blew away all of that. See, that's the spatial side. See, the sealed Bible is the analytical side. That's for analytical mind. All the stuff they're doing, all that stuff is justified by the Bible, the sealed Bible. All this stuff, democracy, capitalism, exploitation, slavery, abuse of women, so forth, oppression, all that's in the sealed Bible. That's all part of analytical mind. That was their guidance. But the unsealed Bible blows all that away. That's a spatial side. That's a sealed Bible. That's what, that's once unsealed. See? Once it's unsealed, it blows all that away. Okay? So that's what I mean by breaking the dumb barrier. Because right now we're running the software of the sealed Bible. So we're limited. And I talked about that in my previous phase of this series about time traveler. See, because they're limited. They can't see forward. So they use the past to see forward. I mean, that's kind of backwards, isn't it? In other words, they go back and look at lessons from the past. See, with that question, they say, he who does not learn from the past, right, is going to make same mistakes in the future. Some to that effect. They get their idea of the future based on what's happened in the past. And I mean, that would be true if the past truly repeated itself, completely, but it doesn't. So therefore, they're walking forward, right, backwards. They're walking forward backwards. You ever walk backwards? That means, right, you're walking forward backwards, whereas you go into a destination, but you look in the backward direction. That's what they're doing. So that means they're lost into analyticals. Analytical has no foresight. All it has is hindsight. So it determines, you try to figure out what's going to happen based on hindsight by looking backwards. See? So that's where we are. And we got to break that barrier. We got to start thinking spatially so we can look forward. Because right now, we're looking backwards, trying to determine what's going to happen in the future based on what's happened in the past. So we are limited to that. So we have to break that dumb barrier. Because that is a dumb way of looking at it, because it is the dumb barrier. Because that's dumb, the way of looking at things. Walking backwards, that's dumb. Trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future by what's happened in the past, which is dumb. I mean, if you're blind, what else you going to do? But it's still dumb. We got to break the dumb barrier. That's what I mean by breaking the dumb barrier. See, where I split that up. See here? We got to split it up. Bam. See? Break that dumb barrier. So I think spatially. See? That's what we mean by break the dumb barrier. So in this, we're going to talk about demons. That's part of the dumb barrier. The way people think about demons. And we're going to elaborate on that. But before we do that, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Because we're in the war now. And you thought you heard lies before? You haven't heard anything yet. Lies are going to pour out like a flood in the next few days. Because why do people lie? You lie when you're in a defensive mode. You're afraid, right? You're wrong. You're defensive, so you lie. Because if you're winning, you don't need to lie. When you're not fearful, you don't need to lie. So that means they lose. The more they lose, the more fearful they become, right? The more they're going to lie. Gets back to the pillars again, right? That said, men's hearts will be failing for fear of things, not things that's happening, fear of things anticipate on happening. See? That's the second pillar right there. And the first pillar is under attack, right? Because they've been operating off of belief. See? But now the reality, right, of what's happening is closing in on them. So now their mind is going and their heart is going right behind it. Because see, they said, remember, there's two parts there. Their hearts be failing for anticipation of the things. See? So that's the mind and the heart both involved there. You see? So their mind is being messed up and their heart is being messed up. See? And that gets to the third one also. Because the hell, that's the result of the third pillar. All this capitalism ripping everybody, because that's consequence. See? That's what's happening. So you're going to see lies like, I mean, no matter what news station you turn, lies they're pouring out. See? And wait till, you don't have to wait much longer. Because he said, I saw Satan fall from heaven like a lightning bolt. That's how fast it's going to happen. See? Farah's going to take out all their Air Force in a matter of hours. They won't be able to use it. It says Michael and his angels. You think Michael's building a ground fight with Uzi or something? No. He's got the ultimate Air Force, if you want to call it that. Now they see them all over the place. But see, they're trying to get you familiar with, they're trying to get you, see, they tell you, oh, well, yeah, they acknowledge those things exist now because they know you're going to see them pretty soon. They put a spin on it. Well, we don't know where they come from. I mean, we don't think they're from another country because they was from China, from Russia. America already been told they took out America a long time ago if they had that kind of technology. And if these things come from outer space, from trillions of miles away, even if they can describe the speed of light, right? Trillions of miles away, that would take thousands of years to get here. So they took thousands of years to get here just to, you know, what, this Disneyland now? Tourists for less 80 years to watch us? That makes sense? We know what they are. See? They wouldn't tell me that until Elijah Muhammad told me what it is. We know what they are. And why they take a special focus on America? If you watch the video, right? They focused totally on American military installations. They took out some of their missiles. They knocked them, disabled them. But that's what's going to happen. America will not use its nuclear arsenal. It will not. It will not happen. When they go to pull the trigger, right, blinks. But when they go to war, they're at war now. But it says war broke out in heaven. War is broken out. Then Michael and his angels went to war with the dragon's angels. Michael, that means Ra is coming with his, what is his power? His power is in the will. See? So when they come with all their super fighters and everything, we're taking out instantly, bam. Not going to use it. And that leaves them vulnerable, right, to ground war, where Iran, right, has the advantage. See, that's what I said. I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. See, so they're going to be taken out just like that. This war is not going to last that long. False Israel will be gone, and then their lives are going to be like you couldn't imagine, because it was a big lie to begin with. The whole idea of false Israel was a lie to begin with. It was in a narrative set up, right, to counter the obvious fact that we're the true seed of Abraham. Once Elijah Muhammad announced that, they had to go into action. The people that hated for 1,000 years, all of a sudden, they had to become honey pots and everybody's eating honey. They love them. All of a sudden, as soon as Elijah Muhammad, so they had to set them up, because they got to be true Israel. But see, the whole idea behind it is once, that's why they got to go all in and help false Israel no matter what. Because the whole prophecy says once you establish, you would never be, right? You be, once you establish, you'll be there forever. But suddenly they're going, bam! How did that happen? How did that happen? How can it be? People are going to go mad. The evangelicals are going to go mad. They'll go mad. See? And if Biden he's barely conscious, right? See, unless he goes away soon, but this is going to happen within days, right? It may just take him right out, because they're going to put so much pressure on him. He's already almost gone. He's not able to withstand the pressure that he's about to be under, because they're going to put so much pressure on him. You got to do something. That's why I talk about this great the desolation that causes appallment. Something dramatic happens over there. Dramatic destruction, a great destruction takes place over there. What is that about? Is that they're going to try to blow up the whole place to save false Israel? At that point, Israel, they're no more. So they got to try to figure out a way to revive them, because they surrounded, taken. They're gone. But they can't, in their mind, that can't happen. That cannot happen, because they got to be the real Israel. That means, right? That means you got to do something to save them. Something dramatic. What is that going to be? I can't tell you, brothers and sisters. A lot of things I can't tell you. I have to be very careful what I do say. Because I say things, when I'm telling you, I'm telling them. See? That's what I said. If the master house knew the hour his house would be broken into, he would not let it happen. See? And his house might be broken into. What does that mean? Because you understand, we are the gold and silver. We are their wealth. And it says, will the captive be taken from the prey? Will the prey be taken from from the mighty? We're the prey. We're their wealth. See, we're their wealth. And we're going to be taken. At least the gold will be taken first. There's so much is happening right now. All the things happen right now. You can bear me witness. Go back and look at it. I've been telling you these things before they happen. I tell you the climate, how things are going. I told you this war was coming. I said it will be anywhere between 5 to 7 months after November of 2020. The war will start. Start right on time. So we'll go into a few things here, brothers and sisters. See. But it's not going to last very long over there. Because they will take, like I said, Farage going to take out their Air Force and their submarines if they get involved. Just like that. Then it becomes a ground. And it's going to be terrible. See, the false Israel will be taken. That's in chapter 19. And the beast and false prophet was taken. The beast is America, the false prophet is false Israel. Read chapter 19 on the angel. Fall like a lightning bulb. It's not going to take long. And that's going to trigger all these other things. All the other things I've been telling you about, that's the trigger. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So we're in it now. So at what point, right, does it escalate to the point where Iran gets involved? How long is that going to be? A day? An hour? But we're in it now. What you're witnessing is the last days of Yaku's civilization. We're in the last days of it. Maybe the last hours. That's the first takedown. Then that's followed by what? That's followed by what they refer to as Armageddon. Followed by that. Okay, brothers and sisters. So that's where we are right now. So now we're going to go in, and what we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about, like I said, this one is about the demons. Now that's very important because the demons, right? The demons were, they was the first. That was the first battle that Suleiman had to deal with, demons. See, so we're going to talk about them as far as how does that relate to the dumb barrier. See, because it's the way we think about demons. That's part of the reason why they're so effective. Because when we think about them, we think about them in a dumb way. We're told to think about them in a dumb way. So we're going to break that barrier. See, we're going to break that barrier. Okay. That dumb barrier. Now, what is a demon, first of all? Little adjustment here. See, most of us don't even know what a demon is. And most of us have spooky ideas about demons. Can't see them, invisible. No, that's not demons. See, there's a lot of hints in the scriptures. Remember, you're dealing with the sealed Bible. We're bringing the unsealed Bible to you. That's what it means by Jesus or Suleiman gave sight to the blind. Doesn't mean eyesight. It means foresight. Because you can't see. You can't see ahead of you. You're all blind. See? Like I said at the beginning, time travelers, right? You don't, what is it? Well, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Right? You don't. That means you're blind. You're blind to tomorrow. That's the sight they're talking about. And that's what I'm here to do, to give sight to the blind. That's what I was talking about In my previous one, time traveler, giving sight to the blind. Because you don't have any sight, no foresight. You're walking around, have no idea where you're going, what you can expect. You think you have no control of your future. You're blind. Because you don't, because you're blind. But I'm trying to give you sight so you do. Five fundamental mathematical principles of Islam, right? That gives you control, right? Consequence. See? Get you thinking mathematically again. The AL-INJIL gets you thinking mathematically again. The more you think, because that's what it is. See, that's the sense. See, thought is one of your sensory that you don't use. Part of your sensory perception. You got hearing, you got touch, you got sight, but you got thought. And your thought, right? Your mathematical thought that allows you to see ahead into the future. But they took that away from you 35,000 years ago when they took you off the um, mathematical state, right? Mathematical standard until this religious belief system, belief matrix, through the belief matrix. They blinded you. They blinded you. All of us wasn't blind, but we still had the ability, Dr. Shabazz, right? Some of us still, the scientists still had it, but the majority of people had lost it. Because scientists still wrote history 16,000 years ago, so they still had it. But the majority of people lost it. And whatever we had left of it, they took totally away from us by bringing us over here. So, from the mathematical point of view, this is what we're talking about the dumb standard, right? It's obvious, it's clear that the male carries the seed. That was obvious. Even before KB told you, even before he took biology, that was obvious. It was something like, hey, we get daylight from the sun. That was just obvious. But now it's not obvious. It's not obvious now. Because most people don't believe that. Either they believe it or they're aware of it. It does, they tell you stuff like, hey, one drop of black blood makes you black. Somehow the egg overrides the sperm somehow. Can't happen. It shouldn't be an argument. It's like you're trying to convince someone that 1 + 1 = 2. If you got to do that, you got a serious problem. That's the problem we have right now. That's why we have to break the dumb barrier. Because some of these things are just so simple. If you understand that concept and you realize somebody like Farrakhan follows the devil, then you would not be deceived. You would not be deceived by him at all. At all. No way. Ain't no way in the world. He could be our Messiah. You see? If you understand a simple concept, but because you don't, he can come and tell you, hey, well, 1 drop of black blood makes you black, and so therefore, bam, he can get away with that. Where he wouldn't have got away with it at all. No, when he got off from first base, he would have got home base with that one. He would never got to first base, nowhere near it. But see, they got you on the dumb. See, you still on the dumb side. We have to break that dumb barrier. So a demon, it tells you what it is. Half devil, half man. Demons didn't come into existence until devils came to existence. First the devils, from the devils came the demons. The demons are helpers. The Bible teaches that demons are helpers of the devils. They're like the devil's so-called intelligence. They're like the devil's spies. That's what they are. See? Because they can go in the population, you can recognize the devils. See? But so these are camouflage devils. See? And they was aware of this concept right away. Soon as they came into existence, right, they knew they had a problem because they came into existence right away. We recognized them and we gathered them all up and ran them out of Arabia into Europe. So there wasn't any confusion about who the devil was then. They gathered them all up. Everybody understood that one because they was causing all the confusion. They was making all the mischief and shedding blood. We wasn't doing that. So it was easy to identify them. Easy. Gather them up, put them up there. They lost 2,000 years of history like that. So they was shedding mischief, making them shed blood amongst themselves. 2,000 years. So Musa went up and got them. See? So they learned from that. They learned from that. They said, we won't make that mistake again. Right? So they learned to disguise themselves. That's when it actually started back there. But it wasn't the age of the demons yet. See, they were just, feeling their way around with that one. Age of the demons didn't start 600 years ago. See? So, because you had back in Roman times, they would do that. The Romans going to Egypt and raping the women in Egypt, right? And start polluting Egypt. That's how they start getting control of Egypt and Carthage, all North Africa. Because they was going and raping women and everything, so they're leaving their seed behind. That had hearts like them. See, that would be susceptible to whatever they said. That would be be a lie to them. See, loyal to them because they got the same heart, same vibration, same frequency. See, but they camouflage. That's part of the process of bringing Egypt down. See, but like I said, the age of demons had not. This was just they're still the way around with this one. See, so it wasn't until after so-called Dark Ages, the 1,000 years that Adam was put into a deep sleep, as Genesis tell you, and then out came Eve, America, out this side 1,000 years later, right? He's put in deep sleep. It wasn't until that period of time that the age of demons came in. That's before they discovered America, because Europe was in trouble. They had plagues, famines, they had misused everything. See? And so they started going out to the world and try to send spies out. Heard of Marco Polo, those people going to China, going to India. They don't talk about them going to Africa. Africa was far more rich than China and India combined. Timbuktu had very elaborate universities and everything there. They don't talk about that. Why? They send people in Africa too. But see, Africans recognize them even more so than the Chinese and the Indians did. So they definitely had to send demons in there. So what they did, that's when this process started. About 600 years ago. See, before they discovered America. Because they wanted to go in Africa and steal, because that's what they did, right? Cecil Rose. That's the one that they call Rhodes Scholar. They don't see Bill Clinton, man. He's a so-called Rhodes Scholar. Do you know see what Rhodes was? He's like the Hitler of South Africa. He tore that country apart. He said South Africa. He went there and they went down there and saw those diamonds laying all over the beaches. The place was so rich. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. Diamonds. I mean, you don't have to go dig for it. Just land all the beaches. The place was wealthy. They're this serious about it, and they try to stop the series. Now you might can get it because it's called Africa, right? This is back in not early '90s. They try to stop it here because this guy, this British guy, maybe I'll get the link if I can find it. And he was talking all this, he was explaining all this technology stuff that was down there that they was hiding, and they didn't want black folks to know about this stuff. See, so they tried to block. See, it was on TV. It was on TV. The whole series that lasted about a year, I guess. See. He said he even saw evidence of nuclear technology in South Africa. But anyway, we're not going, you know. But anyway, so Cecil Rhodes, so he said this thing, and so now, if you're a Rhodes Scholar, that's like being a Hitler Scholar. But they don't say anything about it. Oh, I'm a Rhodes Scholar, but you don't know who Cecil. Look up who Cecil Rhodes was. Just look up who Cecil Rhodes was. See, so it is trick. How do you get that far down in South Africa? I mean, that's a big continent. To get all the way down south like that. You know, that's what down there with what do you call them? The Zulu, fierce warriors. You're a Shaka Zulu. That's South Africa. So something had to go on there. So what they did was they knew they could not penetrate Africa because like they did India and China. They had a hard time in India and China, but they had a hard time in Africa because we knew exactly who they were. See, and at that time, you know, being white, that was like a sickness. I mean, right away you saw that, you know, hey, just that right there was enough. They had to do anything. Just hey man, woo. So what they had to do is they had to start making demons. That's the beginning of the age of the demons. When they fought out, it's first biological warfare on their part. Because those are biological weapons, their seed and black skin. And they sent them in. See, to stabilize the population, soften the population up in Africa. That's the beginning of the age of demons. See, well, I mean, remember, it's not just exclusively the Africans. They made demons in China and all over the world. Everywhere they went, right? They went to Guam and they turned the whole island to demons. Because they went and killed all the males, even babies, toddlers, all the males, they killed them all. Check history out, all of them. And then they made with the women. So people in Guam now, there's no real Guamanians really alive. None. They're all demons. The whole island is an island of demons. It's a demon island. See, the original seed is not there. They eradicated it. They did a lot of that in South Africa too, South America. How do you think people got light down there? They got this clown, Farrakhan guy there, whatever his name is, Abdul or whatever, right? He's a demon. He's one of Ishmael's pop buddies when they was hanging down and when they took everything they could and ran down to Mexico after Elijah Muhammad departed. Why did they run? If they were supposed to be, they ran and took everything they could and run down there. How was it hiding down in Mexico for? So he was one of Ishmael's pop buddies. How do you think they got light like that? They was dark as we. But the Spanish didn't bring their women over. They came rape the women, and that's how they got light. So they created a whole race of demons down there. That's why I call them Hispanics, because they from Spain, Hispanic, speak Spanish. Whole South America mostly speaks Spanish or Portuguese. Portuguese same thing in Argentina and Brazil. See, Brazil, Argentina, they speak Portuguese down there, or some variation of it, because that was the Portuguese. They similar to Spanish. So they did. That's how they got light. Because they didn't bring their Spanish bring women over. So most of them they really like. Most of them are demons. You see, so you got demons like all over the planet. In China, but with China, they went and got rid of their demons. See, but we'll talk about that. But that's what's going on. So now you got the demon age of demons all over the planet. See, but then people started catching on, right? And they purged them, just like they did our fathers, right? When Dr. Yakub came along, right, and threw them behind back up in Europe. Well, you start that process start happening again. People start seeing what's happening because you didn't have all this warring and all this stuff. You didn't have all that stuff going on. They try to tell you now, people around and killing each other. You didn't have all that stuff going on. You didn't have people, nations fighting against each other. Like that. You didn't have that. You didn't have it. See, Mexican mission shed blood came with Adam. Nobody was doing it before Adam. See, they try to make you think, oh, the world was impoverished and fighting. That's bull. None of that stuff was happening like that. None of it. Nothing like that was going on. Nobody was attacking anybody. Everybody was at peace and prosperous until Adam come and took everything they had. See, so they tell you a big lie. So what's happening is that the people start saying, okay, we got a problem here, and they start gathering up the demons. See, because they was the one that was causing the confusion. That's how it was identified. They looked like the population, but for some reason they was causing crime and doing things, causing confusion, just like they did when they came out into Arabia, right after Yaakov's process was done. They was released. They came into Arabia. They rounded up and run back to Europe. So what they had to do was people started. So they said, "Hey, we got to find a way to stop this." See, because most of the governments were authoritarian governments, like kings, queens, rulers. Oh, see, but now, see, that was okay then, because it was okay in your family, right? If you have a family and you're the parents of the family, you are an authority, but you're not hurting the children. You love the children. So nobody has a problem with that. You don't have the children vote whether they're going to eat or not. The parents decide what's going on because they do what's going to be best for the children. That's the kind of kingships and rulerships that we had in the world. Because it tells you, even Christians tell you that that Jesus they tell you about, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to tell you what to do. They say, but he's going to be a good one. He's going to do the right thing. It's okay for him, see, but for everybody else, they're good, bad. Because those are the kinds of systems that God sets up. That would say he referred to the Lamb as the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, and he referred to himself as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Those are the kind of, because they're your people. So you're going to do what's best for them. It's like a parent. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's where it was everywhere they went. And there was nobody protesting, right? Nobody pressing anybody. Everybody was happy with that relationship because the king and queen, whatever, they was doing what's best for the people because they was their people. So, and so they would perceive demons. So they had to come and find a way to stop that. So that's what I did. Democracy, demon. See, the words are there. The base rule of the demon. They say, well, democracy actually means like rulership. I mean, like type of rule. And demon means like type of people. And that's what they say. That's their language, right? But you break the word down, that's what it means. It's ruled by demons. See, they say democracy is supposed to be ruled and demons supposed to be people, but it says demons, so it's ruled by demons. So it established democracy, where then that gave cover to the demons, gave cover to them. Because now, right, dissension is okay. Because before, man, dissension, hey, we got dissension, must be a problem. They got rid of them. Why are you dissenting? I mean, everything's cool here. What's the problem? So that's how it was able to identify them. Because they weren't in sync. There was no harmony. It was breaking, causing confusion, dissension, all that kind of stuff, when there really wasn't any reason for it. So that's how I was able to identify them. See, because first, I mean, remember it was camouflage, so they already took care of that part. That's how they was demons. They was camouflage, because that's what the whole point sent them in. But they was able to identify their behavior. See, now you could detect them by sight, but you could identify them by their behavior. So then he had a system where that would camouflage their behavior. That's why they push democracy. Even though the Christians are pushing democracy, but that's not the kingdom. The kingdom they talking about, the kingdom of heaven, is not a democratic system, kingdom. The kingdom of heaven, or this Jesus, is an authoritative system. If you do it my way or the highway, so my way is the only way. I'm the only one. There's no other way but me. Right? If you do what I tell you, your ass is going to hell. It's an authoritarian system. But they say, we got to get rid of all the authoritarian systems. Remember, it says that's why nations gather together to make war with God, because they don't want that system. They're telling you that's their religion. They don't want that system. That's why it says, why are they going to make war against God? Because they don't want that system. Because that system identifies them. See? So they have to have a democratic system where, oh, it's okay to have dissension. It's okay to have confusion. Because you just vote. And the majority rules. And you can pick it, and you can march, and dissent, all kind of stuff. Because you only need that when you're disagreements, right? When there's confusion, you don't need to vote unless there's confusion, right? Because, I mean, who's going to vote that whether 5 plus 5 equals 10 or not? What's the point of voting? But if you got some fool up talking about 5 plus 5 is 55, okay, now we got to vote to see who is right. That means at least one you're wrong. But if the one that's wrong is more of you, then everybody that's right got to go with the one that's wrong. I mean, it's just dumb from the start to finish. You got to break the dumb barrier. But they got you convinced that's the right way. See? But it was these Democrats that enslaved you. You didn't have that before you came over here. You was the original people was the most freest people on the planet. The most freest people on the planet. The most healthiest people on the planet. The richest people on the planet. That's why they come. You think you're going to get slaves that's stupid and lazy and weak and unhealthy? Would you go buy cars all broken down and raggedy? Would you go buy a horse that's sick and can't do it, old and can't do anything? No, you want to get a healthy one. They got us because we were so healthy, we were so strong, we were so intelligent. Would you go and take a whole bunch of so-called mentally challenged children and enslave them? I mean, what would be the point? I mean, you got to tell them everything to do. I mean, you might as well do it yourself. So you want to get intelligent people. They got brains. They got you thinking all backwards. That's why you got to break that dumb barrier. We got to break that dumb barrier. Thinking analytical. That's what Farrakhan comes to. You got to start thinking analytical. Because he's a demon. And the only reason why you on the other side of the barrier, see? Because that's why you can't see him. That's why they want to keep you over there. See? So that's what happened. So they had to come up with something, democracy, right? That embraces this harmony, embraces confusion, embraces turmoil, see, embraces disagreements. That's their cover. Because that's what demons bring. That's what devils bring. See? So once they get the demons in there, and demons got control, then devils can come in and take over. Because they're not going to let the demons have it. See? The demons sit in, they do the groundwork, get set up, and then they come and take control. The devil sent demons to take control. See? That's how they did us. Right? Once they got us over here, they put us in cages, and then they rape women, rape some of the women. So once that 64-year process over, right, they had erased, they had all the children that were totally disconnected from their parents. They didn't know who they were or anything, turned them as animals. And then had all these demons over here, right? And, hi, daddy. You know, right on. Yeah. And so they was your role models. Then he says, movie Roots. Remember what was his name? What his name was, right? And Cooley Kid said, "What's wrong with you? Don't you know?" Because this person, think about it. This person didn't know anything about Africa. Nothing. Nothing. He said, "What's wrong with you?" He thought where he was, everything was fine. He was totally dedicated to the master. He thought that's just the way it's supposed to be. He had no connection to African. Those were the demons. They had, and they said, those were your role models. And they're still your role models today. The age of the demons, they're still your role models today. And in every country. See, they got demons in every country. Demons in, see, I'll take a little segue here. See, um, let me see, maybe we'll note here. In China, they adapted communism. I'm not for communisms with the mathematics. But that's authoritarian, right? Once you did that, they was able to identify anybody that's that had dissension and everything else, and they got rid of all of them. Once they got rid of them, then they had harmony in China, right? And look how successful they've been, how powerful they've become in a short period of time, because they got rid of all their demons. See, I don't know if they got 100%, but they got most of them. See, but here we got all these our role models all over TV. They don't get there unless they a demon in Master's house. Who we we knew back in the fields, right? Be careful, because those are called house Negroes. Those Master's children. The preachers, Master's children. What was the whole? What was the whole? What was the whole message? To listen to Master, be kind to Master. No matter how much Master, how bad he treats you, you still gotta be good, good for Master. You still gotta be treat Master. You gotta forgive Master. You gotta love Master. No matter how bad, the more he mistreats you, the more you gotta love him. Is that insane? And you're gonna get your reward when you get to heaven. Because they knew the harder you work in the field, the more successful master become. So the more successful master become, the better it gets. It's like you have a dog, right? You pour, right? He scraps. You get a little more money, right? You start eating bread, might eat dog food. Get a little more money, start eating hamburgers, a little more money, right? Might get eating steaks. See? And so they knew the better successful master became, the better it was for them. Because they was master's children. And the whole idea was to keep you pacified, keep you, keep you entertained, right? Keep your mind towards master, keep you working out there in those fields. Turn out to run away. That's Farrakhan's. Man, we ain't going nowhere. We love it here. If anybody attacks me, we're gonna help, we're gonna fight, help protect it. See, now they got rid of all that. See, they got rid of all the archives. Because now the truth is closing in. So now the big lies coming out. They put out the big ones this past Sunday, and today is the 18th, right? So 18th of May. So the last, because they helped. I saw they got rid of all the archives. I said, that's what they're gonna do. The big lies coming out. Shitstorm. because the world's closing in on them. I say the lies are going to come out like a flood because the truth is closing in, and it's harder and harder and harder, right, to defend what they're doing. And like this coming out about demons, you didn't know it's about demons. They want you to think, oh, demons are something, even Farrakhan tell you, he make you think of demons something you can't see. No, you know, Mama said there ain't no such thing. Everything is visible. It may be invisible to your intelligence. So now you got these role models. That's the age of the demons. They're all over the place. For 600 years. Well, 100. We've been here all together, what? 465 years? All together? Started from 50, 55. See? This process started 140 years before we even got here. Before they knew there was America. And then when they found it was America, right, really took it, really jumped into gear then, once they brought us over here. See, then they refined the process. So now they tell you, right, the idea about the seed, which everybody knew that. It's in everybody, it's in every culture. Why do you think why do you think, excuse me, why do you think that the woman takes the man's name when they get married? That's universal. Because the line goes through him, not her. Because he carries the seed. So they have to kind of cover that stuff all up. They have to get around all of that. So one drop of black blood make you black. So in other words, if a Caucasian have a child, right, by another Caucasian, right, okay, it's Caucasian, it's white. If a black has a child, if an original person has a child, original person, that's original. But if a black, right, original person has a child by a Caucasian woman, right, well, they say that's black. They use a generic term, but it's still original. But now, if a Caucasian man has a child by a black woman or original woman, shouldn't that be Caucasian still? Why is he called black? He ain't original. You see? So it's, if you ain't, that's, I'm not getting to the idea about racism because racism is systemic. But the idea is that, right, that if you ain't 100%, then you're black. That gives cover. See, if you're 100% white, you're black. That gives cover for the demons. So they could come into, and we accept them as our own, which is a mistake. See, it's like a cancer. That's how cancers work. See, you have a cell, one's a demon cell, one's a cancer cell, but it disguises itself as a healthy cell. That's a demon. So he looks like a healthy cell, but it's really cancer. So antibodies don't bother him because he looks like a healthy cell. So he goes around destroying all the healthy cells, turning them into cancers. Unimpeded, because the biological, the antibodies won't mess with it. That's why you got to give you radiation and everything, because your natural system won't touch it. Won't mess with it. Everything's okay. Same thing. Demons come out and they come in. We don't bother them. Where we saw a Caucasian come in right away, some of us wouldn't even accept that. But right away, a lot of us, hey, we started looking around. But a demon come in, hey, bro, what's happening, bro? He's bringing nothing but confusion, trouble, dissension. See, he's a spy. He's not for you. How do you think they brought the Black Panthers down? It was demons that brought them down. Because they was working for the FBI. They wasn't working for they can't no black people. I usually hate the term black, a generic term. That means like your mutt. Anything that ain't white is black, which is, that's wrong. If anything, it should be the other way around. See? So that's how they did it. In 64 years, they produced what we call Negroes now, and they also produced the demons. And demons will be our role models to keep us checked. Because they didn't want to be, they couldn't be around 140, they didn't want to be around 24/7. We used to live in like squalor, right? It was out in the fields, right? Most time we outnumbered the taskmaster, what they called them. So they had to have demons amongst us. Plus, they didn't want us in the house because they afraid that we might kill them. So they had their demons in there. Those were called house Negroes. They were in there. Those ones that's running civil rights movement. What they was mad about is that they wanted to be recognized by daddy now. They said, wait a minute, because daddy didn't really bother with it too much either. And that's their problem. Their problem wasn't that they wanted to get away from master. They just wanted to be recognized by master. Master, you are daddy. They said they want integration, right? They want separation. After all has been done to us, we love you, Dad. I mean, are you serious? We love you, Daddy. They want to get closer to Daddy. It's like a rabid dog biting you, and you want to hug on the dog, but he's still biting you. So that's what they wanted. That's what they was pissed off about. And as soon as they got what they wanted, where they were out there with them. See, you don't hear the separation. They don't let you can't talk separation. Because remember, we're there to pray. We're there, well, that's why don't you talk separation? They hate us so much. They treat us so bad, you should be glad we want to leave here. They don't want to talk separation. So you don't hear that. You don't hear that in the media. But you mean there no blacks think that way? No original people think that way? You mean all original people love them? You don't hear nobody on TV talking like that, like me. You don't hear them. And you know, there's a lot of black folks out there, they might not particularly agree with me or want to bother me 100%, but they think in the same context, naturally, it's their nature. You don't see anything like that on TV. Anywhere. Nowhere. Absolutely not. Because once you hear our country, we love America, we got to defend America, you know, our founding fathers, and like what Colin Powell, Jefferson was his favorite president. Jefferson was raping black women. He was a pedophile. He was a murderer, oppressor. Well, he's another case altogether, see, because he ain't even one of us. He's from the tribe of Levites over in Africa. So how would you understand, brothers and sisters? See? So they all operate under the 5 pillars of belief. We operate under the 5 pillars of mathematical Islam. At least that's what we suppose. That's our nature. Their nature is the 5 pillars of belief. They operate under that. But they have us operating under that. The demons come in and try to convince us to operate under it. Some of us, they have convinced a lot of us. That's why we have all these problems. Hypertension, insanity, bipolar, right? Obesity, and conflict, everything. But they operate on the 5 pillars of belief. Top one, which are all based on is religion, right? Alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, see, capitalism, the love for money. What the Bible says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Tells you right there, right? Then obesity, constantly eating, drinking 5, 6, 7 meals or whatever, and all kinds of conflict, confusion. That's the 5 pillars of with capitalism, democracy, drugs. They talk about drugs in AL-INJIL. They call it pharmaceutical or sorcery. Just a Greek word for drugs. That's what sorcery is. That's what's going on, brothers and sisters. They're trying to convince us that, because once they convince us that, that's how they control us. Religion, hypertension, all these different things, right? Drugs. Have we been plagued by all those things? Most of us still plagued. The biggest plague we have right now is religion, which draws all the other stuff in. See? That's why it says it's a demon plague. They're a plague. We're plagued by them. We got it worse than anybody. Because the angel says 50% of blacks in America are demons. That's what somebody says, the parable of the chaff and the wheat. It says the enemies did that. He sowed this chaff amongst the wheat. Then it went away. So they was allowed to stay amongst them because it was hard to root, get them out. They said only Suleiman could get them out, so don't touch them. Told Elijah, don't touch them, because you're not even wise enough to separate them, because you might hurt the wheat in the process of getting rid of demons. Said Suleiman would have to do that. See, and that's where you read Mark, Suleiman came, and he's the one they was afraid of. Louis Eugene Grounds, NY Baptist Legion. See, he had to be cast out, all his demons with him, and then NY was able to get his mind back after demons was separated out. Because I said, at that time there'd be a harvest. They'd all come together, gather together. They'd all be gathered together. And at that time, Suleiman would separate out the demons, the chaff, throw them into the fire. Then take the wheat and put it into the barn. See? So we got to break that demon. So what did you say? Democratic Party? Think about that. How come all blacks go for a Democratic Party when every policy they have is against black people? Every one of them. Everyone, they big tricksters from the very beginning. They was the ones that was in the fields. They was the slave masters. They the ones the Reds in the so-called Confederate War, right? They was one in Jim Crow, right? They was the ones that the segregationists. Now, I was down with them on segregation, yeah, separate, but they meant segregation. Segregation means that we stay here, like Lincoln said, we be here, but they be the boss. No, we want separation. Hell with just segregation. We want separation. And so they got wise. Every time they lost a battle, they just, all they did was reinvent themselves, change the terminology. That's what they did. You're still on the plantation. You're still working 24/7. You still going. But now you got a car, so you can drive to the field. So now you got money that you can pay for that shack they was getting for nothing. Now you got money to buy the shillings. That's what it is. That's what they call it back there. Shillings that you eat now. Now you just take S on, put a C called shillings, and you dining. Even though you see shit, it smell like shit and shit floating, but you still dining. Still in plantation, brothers and sisters. But they just, all they did was, give you a different, change, reinvent themselves. Change the wording. That's all they did. Relabel themselves. You got the same thing. That car you got, what's 90% of its use? Get back and forth to the plantation. Plantation America. Okay, brothers and sisters. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, so we talked about these things. See? So that's the demons like Oprah and you love Jay-Z, you love all of them. When they got there, yeah, they're gonna detain you, but they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Massa. You said they did Copenhagen. You step out of line a little bit and shut them down. See, remember what happened to so-called what was that? Public Enemy? They were so hard, right? Then what? Professor Griff, what his name was, right? He said something about right. I think the Jewish community or something. They told him they got to shut it. And he grew up with them. That was their partner. But I mean, might have been family. Told him if you don't shut them down, right? They would shut them down. They shut them down stuck them like a fly. Because they was, see, because they're all BS. They talk that stuff that's talk. make money. See, Kobe. Oh, everybody loved Kobe. And out of 34 million black people, he couldn't find one black woman, not one, not one. Think about that, brothers and sisters. Couldn't find one. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Couldn't find one. What does that mean? It means just like it sounds. The age of demons. The age of demons. That's where we are. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. But they're about, their time is up. They're on the run. Top Legion, Top Demon, Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, and White backwards. He's all but gone. We're getting ready to remove them, separate from us. Remove that plague. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. We got a little side noise here, a little distraction here. Hopefully it's going anyway. I'm about to close this anyway, brothers and sisters. So that's what I want to talk about here. Age of demons. We have to understand what a demon is, what their purpose is, right? How it affects us. And so right now, we got demons in our families, demons as neighbors, demons all around us. Like I said, half of the population of blacks in America are demons. Demon spouses, demon cousins, demon friends, demon neighbors, demon family, and their whole purpose, knowingly, this you don't have to, they don't have to know they're demons because their very nature, right, is compromise our nation, our nation. Because everything they do causes nothing but confusion. You see them, there's nothing but confusion, disagreeable, and one thing they love massa. Don't say about massa. See, don't say about massa. Now do something to them, they wouldn't forgive them. You step in their toe, and you're about to get your head knocked off, or even cut off. They all love massa because that's what Lee just said. Please don't make me leave the country. Read it. It's right there. That's Farrakhan. He said we ain't going nowhere. But that's the payoff from the covenant. That's the payoff for 400 years a sacrifice. That's a 400 years sacrifice. And then he said we ain't going, so we're not going to get paid. We work 40 years and never going to get paid. That's according to him. But we're going to stay on the plantation with Massa. What he's saying, crazy demon, he wants to bring them into the NOI. Why would he want to bring them to the NOI? Because they're his people. See, he wants to sow more. He wants to sow more chaff amongst the wheat. We're going to create more demons. Because that's what they want to reproduce. He wants to reproduce more demons. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. But what you understand not, the process going forward, they're about to remove, this was already started, it's about to escalate. Once it escalate to the war with Iran, Iran goes into action, right? The demons, right, that's their end. Then you have your right mind back. So you got your God, Fries on the case, you get ready to Prepare a place for you. He's getting ready to eradicate your enemies physically. It's my job to eradicate them mentally. That's what angels for. Eradicate them mentally, destroy their minds. He's destroying their physical power. I'm destroying their minds with the truth. You might not think anybody's paying attention. They're paying attention. It's affected this whole everything. The seals was broken in 1990. Everything in America changed in 1990, didn't it? Why do you think that happened? How do you know the wind's blowing? Because you see the branches shaking and the leaves falling. See? Because this is true. That's why Farrakhan got rid of archives. Because all the lies that they told, they got rid of all that stuff. Because now they want to say, no, I was saying this, I was telling you about this. They want to come to big lie. Because they react to the truth. Otherwise, they would be doing that. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So this is the second stage, second I call it Mach 2. That's about sound. Mach 1 trying to break the demon, trying to break the dumb barrier here. See, so first with the Mach 1, time. Mach 2, demon age of demons. Right? Mach 3 is coming up. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. So, the previous one, talking about time travelers. That was Mach 1. Understand time. See? Getting your foresight back. Now, demons. Getting rid of this plague. It's Mach 2. See? So we got a few more. Because I want to break this dumb barrier. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. But pay attention close, because everything's heating up over there. And lies are becoming more profound, more powerful. Not that lies are powerful. That means it's powerful in the sense of flood, right? Because it's, boy, it's getting worse every day. It's all coming from them. It's coming from every elevated place, from Farrakhan, from media, every place. Everybody's lying because they right? Because their world's closed in on them. And the last trick is to fool you, trick you into destroying yourself. They cannot destroy you, brothers and sisters. It's impossible to destroy you. They can only get you to destroy yourself. That's what the whole thing about demons are. Get you to destroy yourself. And a lot of you are doing it. You got relatives that has been transformed into demons. Willingly. So what you gonna do? That's your last method. See? Then you got this so-called virus thing. Vaccination. Is it gonna push it on you? Why? Is that their parting gift? It's not even a vaccine. It's programmed. Programmed to do what? Would it go off a year from now, 2 years from now? Once we're out here going, then we think we're safe, and all of a sudden, bam, right? Kicks in. Is that what that's all about? They know who we are. Make no mistake. You better read about Herod and Pharaoh. They knew the scripture. They knew what time it was. They did something. They went to try to eradicate. In the case of Pharaoh, he tried to eradicate Moses. In the case of Herod, he tried to eradicate Jesus. They know the scripture. They know you don't know it. That's why I got to open your eyes. Not your eyes, right? Insight. Because you can't see, you can't hear. See, you're deaf because you can't hear the truth. They taught you can't hear the truth. Truth is, you can't hear it. This is clear truth. You can't hear it. Why? Because you're deaf. See? You're deaf to the truth. See? You're blind, right? To the future. That's what it means. He healed the deaf and the blind. Not that if you couldn't see with your physical eyes, he made you see. That's not what it means. Or you was deaf for years. No. He made you able to hear the truth, right? And see in front of you instead of being blind, see the scripture, understand the scripture, because scripture is giving you insight of what's before you. So now, see the scripture, hear the truth. That's what that means, brothers and sisters. Okay, I guess that pretty much wraps up everything. But the bottom line is, you are what your father is. That's the base, simple truth that got you blind to, got you deaf to. That's simple truth. Because once you get that, the demon don't have a chance. Lion fire power be toast. If he had revealed his followers the devil when Elijah Muhammad was around, the MGT, if I would have given him the time of day, he would never have been, he'd been gone. He didn't reveal it after now he's trying to cover it up. See, you can go out there, Google it. See, it says, Google Farrakhan, father is Jewish. And it comes this interview he gave, where he says his father and his mother. He says his father's, right? It says fathers, as his grandparents, his father's mother and father were Portuguese, Caucasian, possibly Jew. Think about that. He says father's parents. So if they were both Caucasian, how can his father not be Caucasian? Well, his father was Jamaican. Yeah, he could be Jamaican. It's like you could be American, but that's not your ethnic. That's your nationality. So he plays games. Well, he's Jamaican. That's his nationality, not his ethnic, because his father's father and mother was Caucasian. He had to be Caucasian. And if he's Caucasian, that means make Farrakhan a demon. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's up to you. It's up to you. You're going home. The question is, are you going the scenic route, or you going first class? Are you going to get to paradise, right, in one piece? You come there, eyes gone, crippled, back broke, missing a leg, missing a limb. Is that how you going to get there? See, all messed up, but we can't do anything with you. Is that how you going to get there? Because you weren't paying attention. You rejected the truth. You rejected the five mathematical principles of Islam that would be your protection, your guide. That's up to you, brothers and sisters. But you're going home. So how you get there is up to you. Assalamu alaikum.